We go. I do believe we're live. So, we'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. It's always a pleasure having you here. Today, we'll be discussing all of the things we forgot, all of the things we've forgotten, all of the things we have started to take for granted. Oh, I feel hearts here. I love you too so much. It's nice having you here. Today we're gonna have this conversation very much so from this perspective of just like almost like a reminder of all of the things that we have to be grateful for. I had a yoga practice just now that was the centering thought, and I came down to my child's pose, facing the earth, thinking about myself as a child, as I relate to Mama Gaia. And I just thought to myself that all of the ways in which I don't necessarily on purpose, but by mistake, end up taking for granted our planet. There's a bunch of people here right now. My sister has friends over, so my internet is vertically challenged. I ain't got no bandwidth. Let me see if I try and refresh. I did nothing. I don't even know if you friends can see me right now. That's kind of why I'm tab opening. I have been trying to not take things for granted. I had a moment today with Christian. He sent me some messages. I sent him some messages, waited for a while, and then today he replied. And there was a moment where I shared with him some of the things that we have going on right now, some of the excitement we have been experiencing as it relates to our creative work. And it really was this pleasure to be able to, again, articulate. Ain't got no bandwidth, you poor thing. I can see you fine. Thank you, Sam. I'm happy to hear that. I appreciate you letting me know. And he let me know that I ought to be careful, right? And just like kind of like seeing that fractal again of I'm not careful when it comes to stuff like that, right? I don't take for granted opportunity cost. You know what opportunity cost is? Opportunity cost is what something cost you if you didn't act, all right? And it can be kind of like quantified as, let's say, in 2006 or whatever. Hey, Jovan is here with us. Love you, Xiao. Let's say in 2006 or 2007, when did the iPhone come out? Instead of buying yourself the new iPhone because you thought it looked cool, you ended up buying NVIDIA stock, for example. Right, let's see. When did the iPhone come out? What was its price in dollar value? What was NVIDIA's share price? And how much would your shares be if you bought NVIDIA shares instead of that iPhone? Oh, I'm breathed. Okay, it's not that bad. It told me it was disconnected, but it lied. I didn't lie. That's cool. That's awesome. I love that. I like just text to speech to text, right? And then I hit like the send button, and then it just like shadow realms my freaking message. Can you not do that? Oh yes, I like there's few things that pisses me off as much as slow internet. I think that's like been like one of the biggest banes of my existence living here in South Africa. I don't think I've ever had really good internet. Like ever. like I mean the Starlink, while it worked before they switched that shit off too, was decent. Right? At least we had like 25 megabits per second up. But that's like the best internet I've had. Like it fucking drives me insane. It's sure like Like I really don't ask for a lot. I'm calming down. We're having a discussion about opportunity cost. What did the iPhone cost when it was initially launched in dollar value? What was Nvidia share price? And how much would those shares be if you bought Nvidia shares instead of the iPhone when the iPhone came out initially? All right, so let's see. All right, it gives me a text box, all of the things I said. Now I hit send. Thank goodness. This time it didn't just shatter on it. Yeah, 20 June. So around this time, basically a month ago, 2007. So in June, Nvidia's stock was closing at approximately $19. So with $600, you'd be able to buy 30 Nvidia shares. So those 30 Nvidia shares would today be worth $36,000. All right. And like it really hurts to do math like that because it messes with your ability to spend money today. However, I can't help myself. I can't help myself but do that math all the time. Right? So something has to be especially valuable for me to want to give my money to it. Right? And it is this not wanting to take for granted, right? Not wanting to take for granted the finances in my life. But there is this weird dichotomy, of course, right? Between the part of you that wants to live your life, that wants to go on a vacation, that wants to buy yourself an iPhone, and then the version of you that realizes that, how many years is it? Didn't calculate the years for me, but what, give or take 18, right? In 17 years, maybe 17 years, holy shit, it kind of trips me out when I say it like that. The iPhone is 17 years old. Thank you. I appreciate that you are keeping this space safe, Sam. I appreciate that. We don't have universal healthcare, but we have really fast internet and a shit ton of guns. Yeah, universal healthcare is cool and all, but there's also like a bunch of companies in America that are going to make the entire, I believe, even medical system obsolete. Right, and it's gonna happen in America first, probably. Probably, yeah. So in that way, I'm not worried about America's health. If I'm worried about America's health, the healthcare system has nothing to do with it. All right, it's like it's the food system. It's like what people are eating. That's what's making people sick, right? And if you have a lot of people really not taking care of themselves, and then they end up getting diabetes and heart failures and and strokes, because that's all of the stuff that we know now for a fact our highly processed foods induce in the human body. It is kind of this matter of then it's nice to have free healthcare. I tend to gravitate away from all of those extremely toxic foods, so I trust that I'll be okay for the most part. And if I ever had to be taken care of by a medical professional, I do believe that I can figure something out. I'll figure something out. I think this is the way I see it, Sam. I'll be spending more money augmenting my health than I'll be treating my health in America. In other words, I'm gonna come into America, and some time is gonna pass, and some technologies will become available, and I'll edit my genes, and I'll optimize my microbiome, and I'll put electronics inside myself, right? There's a bunch of different electronics you can put in yourself to make things work better. And I'm probably gonna spend way more money, Sam, doing all of that stuff than I'll ever spend on, getting better. Make the medical system obsolete. United Healthcare just got sued by BlackRock. I know who Larry Fink is, and I know who BlackRock is, for providing too much care after their CEO got sent to the underworld for judgment. Yeah, it was more like a lying thing. Like they got sued because they were lying about the profits they were promising. They aren't really getting sued because they aren't making the profits, right? So it's not about we're gonna sue you because you didn't hurt enough people. It's more we're gonna sue you because you said you were and then you didn't. Which is still contrived, but Yeah, a lot of people would have to go on trial for crimes against humanity before they get rid of the system that enriches them. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Sam. Unfortunately, we do not have any justice, really. There's no real justice, not actually, right? And that sounds very disheartening, a little bit. But it is this matter of almost association, right? Like, I don't know, for example, if there will be justice with the whole files thing, right? You know what files, the files I'm talking about, right? Peter files? Yeah, right? Like, I don't know if anything's gonna come of that. But just even being remotely associated with any of it, all right? Even being in that same echelon, being in the same conversation, that to me sounds exponentially worse than any of the justice that I might face. If that makes sense what I'm saying, right? Like going to jail for being an absolute asshole. I'm sure that sucks. Having people look at you like you are a creeper, like you are a monster, like you know, are the scum of the earth. Having people feel the things that come with you being the scum of the earth, I feel that's worse, in my personal opinion. So in that way, I kind of again bring ourselves back to the love is true philosophy of raw. Just ensure love is true. You know what I mean, Emily? You know what I mean? When you ensure love is true in everything you do, and then as things get done, it's not that bad. I was getting myself a little bite of that, and then a small little fleck went flying, and then I went looking. But it's fine. I I'll forget about it. Yeah, that's not happening. That's precisely my point. I'm not happy about it either, Sam. But I'm also, and this is why I'm kind of being so blunt about it, right? Not from a perspective of trying to like disenheart any of us or try to get the people that are actually seeking prosecution to stop, but very much so from this perspective of I'm not going to assign any of my personal happiness, my personal satisfaction with how life is, my personal expectation with how things ought to be to anything happening there, right? I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna make art. I'm gonna make pretty things, and I'm gonna do that every day for the rest of my life. And if I die doing that, then that was the rest of my life. And I live doing that, then I'll do so for the rest of my life, right? And I'll figure out a way to extend my life so I can do it for the rest of my life longer, right? Like that's the level of obsession I'm at. And literally, no matter what they do, that doesn't affect my story at all. Fortunately, I'm very happy to not be implicated in any of those stories because, geez, holy shit, you know, like the scum of the earth walks amongst us. And I think it's one thing to know that, to be like, there are some bad people out here on earth. It must be a whole other thing to know you're those bad people. You're the person that has taken advantage of, you know, others. Like, just fuck it. Like, again, maybe I'm naive. I probably am naive, but I can't imagine the state of mind that you must be in. Maybe you just like numb yourself with stuff to the point where you stop thinking about it, or you drink yourself into oblivion often enough that you develop enough brain damage so you stop remembering. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how those people have to cope. But I'm happy that I don't have to. Good morning to you, River Coons. Nice having you, bro. Good morning to all the beautiful critters that find themselves in this space. I don't know if I can share the information that I know that you shared with Joe. But if you wanted to, in this space, we'd celebrate you as well. Cryptic enough to not have shared anything, but I hope specific enough for you to know what I'm talking about. It's nice having you, beloved friend. I'm here to celebrate with you always. I'm adding some heat to this system. Happy moments. Happy moments indeed, bro. Bless you on this journey. I know it's probably going to be a little bit wild for the next while, but when you get to settle down, I'm sure it's going to bring you so much peace. The wheels are turning. There we go. I think my awareness of the larger problems helped me identify who is most in need of love. Am I missing some context, Sam? Yeah. No. I wasn't. Was I? Good morning. No, I didn't miss anything. This is something called Platinum OG. It's very tame, flavor profile wise. Not bad, kind of cookie like. Almost like you're baking cookies in the oven, and then you open it, and then like that bellow of steam comes out of the oven. Cookie steam. I feel like that's a close enough description. This thing has only clicked twice, technically. Yeah, I thought so. There's still more to do. Let me see if I can open my chat actually now. Checking. Nancy. Hello, wonderful you. It's nice having you here too. Thank you for joining us. That's still green. We make a part of the earth light brown things. Light brown, not dark brown. Light brown is good. But the green is too close to the grass. Nancy, Sam, sending blessings too. The final cycles are a little bit more tea-like. And there we go. Just like that. We have gone on a new sojourn. Ideally, we don't forget what we were talking about. Because it is important for us to not take for granted where it is we are. To really allow yourself to appreciate your journey. It's so easy to take it for granted. To take for granted your own existence. You ever think about that? It's the only thing we know, so it makes sense that we would. You exist all the time, after all, so getting excited about existence doesn't seem very apt. Though, that is kind of where we are. I've had a few moments in my life, and I can think about them even, where it really dawned on me just how happy I am to be alive. Just like simple existence. One of those experiences was I was laying in my bed with blankets around me, and I was super comfy under the blankets. And I just inundated by this sheer volume of gratitude just for existing. And then the second time that I really had that big of a wave of almost like euphoric gratitude was when I had a sip of water. I was dancing at a festival, and then I had an epiphany, let's call it. And I decided that I am to return to my tent. And upon returning to my tent, I had a sip of water. And just like that whole act of I had like a whole moment, got exhausted, got lifted, and then got to reground myself in just this human experience of taking a sip of water. And I was just like, bro, I'm so grateful to be alive. This is so nice, just taking a sip of water. I was like, this is great. Why did nobody tell me just taking a sip of water can be this nice? Grizel, you know what I mean? No? Try it. Try talking to your water a little bit. Try telling your water that you really love it, that you think your water is great. I know that it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm actually not. Water remembers. It is energetically dense. It's very difficult for it to be changed. It takes a lot of energy for it to be changed, but it can be. You can. I got no bandwidth. Zio. Yeah. Wheels are turning. Sam, for context, the family has been trying to sell the house down here for like a year, and because of all of the wonkiness in the US lately, property sales have plummeted. But we just got an offer, so that means we sell the swamp and buy the farm on the north. Woohoo! That is woohoo indeed. The farm up north will be a little bit more inland. Let's just say it like that, right? Maybe you won't have the same kind of beach experience. I don't know where exactly in Florida you were. You did say swamp. You didn't say beach. Love is true. I'm happy for you, bro. All places are magical. All places have spirit. That's been the big lesson I've been absorbing over the last month, is that every place has a spirit, and you can get to know the spirit of that place. And I feel it's very good to do so. It's very deep. It's very meaningful to get to know the spirit of the place. And sometimes it is time for us to say goodbye to the spirit of a place so that we may go and meet new ones. Right? I feel the same way about this place. I love this place's spirit. I really do. But I also know that there are other spirits that I would like to meet too. Right? I look forward to meeting the spirit of America. I've heard through the grapevine that America's spirit can be a little bit it's a nice word, but it still might come off as an insult, and it's not meant to be, but as juvenile. Juvenile spirit. Kind of like sometimes screaming baby spirit. This is what I've heard. This is what I've heard. Right? Every place has a spirit to it, and there's a little bit of like a because again, babies are maximally entitled. They have to be. Like the world feeds them. And when things aren't going the way the baby wants, there is screaming. And like I've heard from people, because like here in South Africa, the spirit is very much almost like lumberjack. Right? Like there's baby spirit, and then there's lumberjack spirit. And it's not like the lumberjack is better, right? If there was no babies, there'd be no lumberjacks. But the baby might freeze if the lumberjack wasn't chopping wood, right? And the lumberjack fractal, I'm thinking about Duck Dad so much as well right now. Like that's hard work. That's like you're going out there with, at first, axes, all right? Freaking chopping at trees. These days, chainsaws, and you're moving heavy things, right? That's tough. And you know that it's gonna be tough. You just know. Like this, I'm going out there and it's gonna be hard, no matter what like. There's no way for it to not be hard. That's kind of what it's like in South Africa, in Africa in general. It's like people have this spirit of like, yep, it's probably gonna be a little bit tough. It's not gonna be always easy, but we're gonna try and make the most of it anyway. We're gonna savor the good stuff as much as we can. All right, and I look forward to seeing how my spirit adjusts, who I become when I find myself in a new place as well. And you know what the best part is? You know what the best part is? I want to go from being more lumberjack spirit, like this is struggle, fuck, things are hard. Why are things so hard? Why does it have to stay so fucking hard? To buying myself toys. Like I want to freaking. I still want an EUC. Damn it! How long have we been talking about EUC right now? 2 years? 3 years? I want an EUC so bad. It was Sinsane. Sinsane is the one who planted the EUC bug in my brain, and that was RPAN days. All right, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm going to allow myself to play. I'm gonna allow myself to do things that, especially here in South Africa, we think children do. There's a birdie that just landed here next to me. It's called katlachter. Just went flying off. Katlachter, big troops of them that come together. They make these like laughing sounds. Katlachter means like cat laugher. One that laughs at the cats. uh, yeah, love is true. I appreciate you, friends. To close my previous point with the whole more childlike spirit. In South Africa, something like Pokemon, playing Pokemon Go, is something exclusively for young people, right? You would not see. I haven't, for example, seen a singular person in like their adult life playing games like that. Where I know, and maybe this is my own microcosm, that there's a lot more adults in America that actually do, right? And in that way, there is a lot more play available to people in America, allowing the spirit to be a little bit more juvenile, to stay young. What's good, Melt? Seen you roll through live on Talk. Hope you're well. Seen you roll through live on Talk. On TikTok? LVX, please do confirm if that is what you mean. You've seen me live on TikTok? If that is so, that is extremely concerning. I have posted some things on TikTok. Not a lot, and not recently. I really don't vibe with that platform, I feel. Doesn't really serve me. But I instantly go down a rabbit hole of like, is someone spoofing my live stream onto TikTok live and then like harvesting rewards or donations through that? I sure do hope not. LVX, bless you. It's nice having you here. Thank you for finding me. No, 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 no. I've seen you come through my live on TikTok. Okay, while I was making a t-shirt. Ah, like you were live streaming on TikTok while you were making a t-shirt. Were you doing like tie-dye or something? Must have been a while ago. Bless you. Thank you for finding yourself here. Super nice having a friend with us. Think I missed a few comments up top. Oh, a bunch of them. But I'm getting there. Yay. I'm so happy for you, dear friend. At the same time, I feel for what you must be going through, saying goodbye to that place. All places are magical. I'm just gonna go find a new spot. Adventure time is quickly approaching. Bless. Jaju and I are gonna be state neighbors. Love you, Jaju. I can't wait for that bonfire. It's gonna be fun. Where in South Africa? A place close to a place called Groblersdal in Limpopo. Tie-dye with bleach, especially, yes, bless. It was nice to see you, though, even for a second. Brought back good memories. How have you been? I've been well, LVX. A lot has changed since the RPAN days. I don't know if you were there for the RPAN days. Since the RPAN days, we've continued to stream here on YouTube like we are right now. We've continued to do the Patreon. We started to do yoga classes. Last year, I started a business to do work for festivals. We got to do like 4 festivals. 5 if you count the mini one. It was nice. I enjoyed it. And then I came back here again. And during that time, Jobat, came to see me. We've been talking for a long time. Right? She's been joining since day 34. And We've been talking, I think, like since her day 60, on and off, right? And then more and more. And now we're on our way to get married. And I'm coming to America, LVX. I'm still making my arts. That part has grown a lot as well. I have a few prints that Jovan brought me that I'll be displaying at a festival again this coming September 20th, 22nd of September. I get to sell those stickers as well. I sold some of those stickers last year at that same festival too. This time I'll have large format prints so people get to actually really oogle at the pretties. Is there something else? Is there something else? Yeah, then there's Zora. I started creating on a platform called Zora as well that essentially allows you to tokenize the things you post. So I've been tokenizing some of my art alongside the platform tokenizing your own profile, so as MeltMore. And I've garnered some support. I've gotten a lot more support than I bargained for, right? Like, again, I do things from this perspective of like, I'm going to start doing this, and then I'm going to do it for like probably multiple decades before I might expect any recognition for it. And this time around, it was like 11 days. And it's kind of like I get why that could also be such a bad thing for some people as well, because like when you grow very fast in that way, you know, you kind of like want to sustain that level of growth. And it can feel disheartening when you can't, when you feel like you're falling short one way or another. But I've been learning, and I've been growing, and I've been becoming a stronger and stronger person. How about you, LVX? How's things been for you? Sam, I'm freestyling a shirt for a friend and was going to try and incorporate some color. Opportunity cost is expensive. Chase your dreams. Ask the girl on a date. Study what fascinates you. Live life. It's true. I think you might be listening to my stream starting from the start. Like, Sam, can you tell him that he might have to hit the live button? Maybe like skip back a little bit if you want to hear the whole breakdown I gave him. Yeah. Or maybe he'll just watch the whole thing. Good job, sweetheart. I'm proud of you. Congrats, Moon. Sam, I scored 48 out of 50 in my physics test. That's a good thing. It happened to me today. That's high marks. That's like A plus, right? A to A plus. Good job. Good job. You did it, Moon Knight. We're proud of you, friend. I'm happy that you performed well. Your studies have paid off. You did that, right? You did that. Do remember, it wasn't a mistake. You worked hard to make sure that happened. I think I need to open my comments here because I'm like scrolling up further and further. I'm falling behind. I tell the truth in my neighborhood that I love them when I'm walking around. I tell the truth in my neighborhood that I love them when I'm walking around. I mean, I tell the trees that I love them when I'm walking around. Although trees can be truthful. Yeah. I tell the trees. I tell the trees in my neighborhood that I love them when I'm walking around. I do the same thing. And there are some trees that I love sometimes more than others. Right? It's interesting to me that there is like preference like that as well. Like you can have like 10 really beautiful trees, and then you can show that to 10 beautiful human beings. And it would be interesting to see which ones they gravitate towards, right? Which trees goes to which people. And sometimes some people will pick the same tree. And is that tree now objectively more beautiful than the others? We can just love them. We don't have to more or less. We just get to love. Right? Love or more love. I love that. I love that even more. I love that extra extra. I love that 1,000. I love that 1 billion. Yeah. Yeah. Convert to love. Save money now. Right. Oh, love is true. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. I love you, Jovan. We're gonna be like 4 hours away from one another. That's nothing. And then we'll have a Melty there soon too. I'm present teacher. Bless you, Crizel. I mean, I tell the trees, bless. I've lived all over Florida, from the woods to the water to the swamp to the city. It served its purpose. It's been swell here, but the swelling has gone down. That's hilarious. I'm moving to a chunk of land that has been in the family for 100 years. It's located directly on the Illinois River, so I'll still have water and woods and critters to keep me company. Perfect. Your spirit's going to love it there, I'm sure. It's an exciting chapter that is starting to manifest. Nothing solid yet, but I'm hopeful. A place to build, right? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing, Joe. That's nice, bro. Right? Like I'm guessing that this farm, it's a farm, so there's place to put more things, right? To develop, to become sustainable, to you got all of those thoughts going around in your head already. I'm happy for this chapter for you too. I'm happy to come and help. Right? Imagine that. Uh, we make a plan. I can come through for. I don't know if I want to drive 4 hours a day. Maybe I'll come through for a week or something. I bring the friends of the live stream with me. We work on things. I don't know. We chop wood, carry water together. All right. Then I can come back home. Your what's good, Mel? Bless again. I'm excited. Chapter starting to manifest. Nothing solid yet, but I'm hopeful. Yee, Jaju, I love you too. Lots of lovely changes coming up. I'm cheering. So much love. Melty, it's kind of cool. You and I have both lived in warm weather our entire lives, and we're both about to get a huge culture and temperature shock. Even more synchro. We're going to be neighbors. It's kind of wild, huh? Yeah, the universe has plans for us. Bruh, universe has plans. We're building together. That is the point. We are supposed to build together. Like there's literally nothing you can do alone. You can do something alone. You can be like, here's me. You can be that guy that stands in the box shouting on the corner of a street. You can do that alone. But there's not much else that you can do alone. All right, and I know that I am that box. I am that box. I am that man on the box right now, technically. But again, if people just kind of walk and they keep passing, right, you're not going to really give that much attention. But if there's suddenly people gathered around man on the box and be like, I say, what's this guy saying? Did you just say that? Did you hear his, Did you hear what he just said? Right? Suddenly there might be another person that joins as well because like what is that guy saying that gets people asking what's he saying? Why are people doing that? And then suddenly we're building something, right? We've built network effect. We've brought two people together that are willing to listen that might not have stood next to each other in any other circumstance. We're gonna go far. We're gonna go far, kids. We're gonna build safety nets all over this planet for each other. And we're going to be able to catch one another if we stumble or fall, and we're going to get each other back on our feet, and we're going to give each other a little push. Not a push of like falling over, but a push as like momentum. The kind of push you want, right? The kind of push that gives you just the right amount of energy so that you can crash through the walls. Yeah. No, I've seen you come through, bless again. Okay. I'm happy to hear that. Moon Eye, can you tell me something good that happened to you today? Yeah, good marks. I'm freestyling, shared. Opportunity cost, sweet. Opportunity cost, fuck man. We were just talking about that a few minutes ago. Yeah, we were. I don't know if, like, again, he mentioned the opportunity cost by himself or he heard me say it because he started the stream from the start by clicking on it. And it's not live right now or something. I don't know. I'm well, a buzzy bee, I be. Busy, worky, lurking, love your friends. Love you, Zhao. It's nice having you. Always. Opportunity cost. All right, I'm looking forward to art day with my mom this weekend. We're planning a tie-dye project with some shirts we bought last year that didn't have the time for. That sounds like some proper adorable content. Stop cringing. That was good. Stop it. Stop cringing right now. Yeah, man. Everyone is invited. I got plenty of space for tents and trucks and campers and whatnot. Buying a campground, basically. You were so loved. I like that. I like that. I do plan on building the Solar V as well. So having a place to come in, park it for a while would be so nice, as we're like going to see America, buying a campground basically. We can even slightly do that, bro. Like unironically, I'm willing to chop wood, carry water with you on that side to turn it into a proper one. Make sure they have some amenities, run electricity if we need to, do some aggregate so that people have places to park. Like, I'm not joking. I have like so much want to do things these days. Like it showed me now again that if we do things together, we can go parabolic, literally, absolutely parabolic, right? Like for the longest time, and what I say by that is like for the longest time, growth used to be kind of either linear or at the very least gradual, right? And now we're going into an age where growth is going from like either like in these bands to like in these bands. And that's nice. That's nice if you want more. What did Adam say? Adam, what in the actual weed is the gateway? Let's not lie to ourselves. Alcohol, if anything. If any of us are lying to ourselves about which drug is the real gateway drug, it's alcohol. All right? 100%. Right? And if you are like, no, Melt, alcohol isn't a gateway drug, then you're lying. If you look at the statistics, right? Alcohol releases more GABA in your brain. So in that way, it is already a drug. And then on top of that, that is addictive. And then on top of that, it calms you down to the point where it lowers your inhibitions. So if someone offers you nose candy while you have gotten kind of tipsy, you're exponentially more likely to be like, oh wait, I can do some nose candies. Yeah, I'm feeling so good right now. I can do really right, and then suddenly you're addicted to that stuff, right? And again, if you're smoking weed, you might be like, my mind is so interesting. Maybe I'll eat some mushrooms, right? Or maybe I'll go and wrestle some lions. And then the cool thing about those substances is they're anti-addictive, right? Like wrestle some lions, and you're like, okay, afterward, like I'm tapping out for a little bit, right? Now you're sitting next to the ring, breathing, patting yourself down from sweat, right? Begrudging the next time you get in the ring for a scuffle potentially. So yeah, I don't think there's any lying to ourselves. Alcohol is the biggest killer in the world. Yep. It's true. So much harm has been done. Just of the amount of like, again, opportunity cost. If every single person that have ever drank anything instead invested that money into anything, right? I'm joking by saying that, but literally anything, like anything. You don't even, like maybe not anything. There's some assets that haven't performed well. Let's just say invested into like silver coins or gold or, Bitcoin or Cardano or something like that, right? If all of that money just went to like those assets, everybody on planet Earth would probably be, like able to afford a brand new car today. If just nobody did that. Nobody freaking like wasted so much money. And again, I'm probably not very popular in the future with the companies that are selling these things because they're making hundreds of billions of dollars selling this stuff to us. And it's addictive, right? So of course, people are going to keep drinking it. It is literally addictive. And again, it has become a norm where you get together with people and then you drink stuff. That's what you do. That's what people do, right? And unfortunately, people have become convinced. They believe them, and then they do it. And so much money is being wasted. Like the money, I hate that part the most. If it was if it was free, I'd probably still hate it, TBH, right? But I'd be like, it's free, whatever. Of course, people are gonna do it. It's free. Yeah, brain damage. Yeah, lower inhibitions. Yeah, unplanned pregnancies and STDs. Yeah, yeah, all of that stuff. But it's free, so whatever. But the fact that people are paying, the people are paying to have their own brain cells destroyed, like it baffles my mind. Like it really doesn't make any sense to me. I smoke a joint. I smoked a joint, became a heroin addict. Isn't a common phrase. No, it doesn't really go that way. People that become heroin addicts usually start with painkillers, right? Which is opioids in and of themselves. So it's like there are like four different bands, right? Opioids, which is like the pain fractals. And there's dopamine, which is the motivation fractals and good feeling, like, yeah, I'm the man kind of feelings. Then there is, and that's testosterone as well, but testosterone and dopamine go well hand in hand. And there is serotonin, which is information, right? So if I suddenly stop emoting my face, it's not exactly fun to your brain to look at me, right? It literally feels like you're like, this is wrong. And the reason it's wrong is because you're not getting the information that I'm trying to communicate to you. I'm saying stuff, but I'm not communicating. And that is a lack of bandwidth, lack of information. That's serotonin stimulation, right? And again, if I'd be boring. The reason you might be inclined to stay is because there is some sort of baseline of serotonin being increased in your brain, right? There is information, social interaction. That's what we're here for, I believe. And then there's endocannabinoids, right? And depending on which one you mess with, if you mess with the dopamine one, which is your white powders, your methamphetamines, your Adderalls, that stuff makes you feel like a superhero, but it does so at the expense of your own dopamine system, right? If you have, like, for instance, if you make your bed or if you brush your teeth and you can feel good about that afterwards, right? Like, oh, bed made, yay me, brush teeth, good for me, right? Maybe that yay bed or good for me teeth brush gives you 10 points of dopamine. Now you snort a white powder, and now you suddenly have 1,000 points of dopamine in your brain, right? So now the act of brushing your teeth or making your bed is like a percentage or a tenth of a percentage of the amount of dopamine that you can experience anytime you just do this drug, right? So everything else becomes menial in comparison, right? So I feel like understanding these things, that's the biggest problem in our world, is like the lack of understanding, the amount of misinformation, the amount of ignorance around this. And again, like the taboo nature of these things is like, no, you're not supposed to talk about this stuff, right? Everybody, if you have drank a coffee in your life, you have partaken of substances, right? If you have drank a beer, substances. If you have taken an aspirin, substances. There are everything is substances, right? Like our bodies are operating on those frequencies. But if you don't know what frequencies serve you, then you might end up tuning into a channel you don't like, right? Ruin your life. It's good to know which channels are not good for you. Buzzy B, fire trip, tons of family in the Midwest area, friends, goodness, what are you in yet? It will be, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, man, everyone's invited, bless again. This group is gonna go through so much. Right? I quit smoking weed last December, but it's certainly not frowned upon by my clan. Yeah, it is. I've said this to friends as well. Weed is something you use in a very certain context, right? Like I feel weed goes hand in hand with the middle way, right? With the calm path, with the opposite of whatever the grind set is, right? If you want to kind of apply some grind set mentality, like I'm gonna get shit done, I'm gonna like smash these goals day in, day out, I'm gonna be perfect on my diet, I'm gonna be perfect on my sleep schedule, I'm gonna not tolerate myself wasting a second of my time. If you want to operate on that frequency, weed is not gonna help you. If you want to operate on the frequency, again, channels you're tuning into, if you want to operate on the frequency of like, I need to allow myself some peace, I need to calm down, I need to allow myself to actually enjoy something. That's the big thing for me. Is I have a very hard time allowing myself to enjoy things, right? Sometimes, sometimes, especially if I have other things I think I should be doing, right? No joy to be had. And weed helps with that. And again, if you apply that incorrectly, for instance, you have things to do, you have dishes to wash, you have your sister to go pick up from school, and then instead you're just smoking weed and playing video games, oblivioning. That's not you're not using that to benefit your life, right? But if you're always in this tense state of like, I need to fucking do shit, then having weed in your life can be like, okay, yeah, I need to do shit, but I've already, look at this. Oh, you have done this, and you have done that, and then you have done this, and you have done that. Now, do a little bit of this and calm the fuck down. Just chillax. Just try and chillax a little bit. And the best part is, I don't always. I still have to like literally do breath work and stuff as well. Melty yo blaksam. Papa Jow. Bless you. It's nice having you here. My torso is buzzing with excitement for these days. I'm excited for the closer. Love is true. Even more, I no more do drugs, but I miss it. Yeah. I feel like that's one of those things, right? I have a bunch to say, but it is your journey, so I won't. Happy you're doing you. Sam, yeah, for real, for real. I quit for certain reasons, but I don't miss it too much. I have a new way to de-stress and chill. There you go. I haven't sworn it off forever. It's just been a good run. I like it. Yeah. Right. And again, it's not like, for instance, just what? May. The whole of May, I took off. I took a whole month off. And I didn't take that whole month off because I felt I need to take a month off before I start doing heroin next. Right? That's not how it works. I wanted to take a month off because I realized I was not enjoying it anymore, right? Instead of it being like a desperation thing of like, I need to do more so that I can find more joy out of it. It was like, no, I need to do less, actually. Right? And that to me is, I think, as good a barometer, gauge for whether or not there's a problem. And maybe you're like, nice copium, Melt. Fine, maybe I'm copiuming. I still do believe that it's important for you to know thyself. I've smoked the Swedes over 10 years and never come close to any urge to pick up anything. I get I threw a needle with. Yes, yeah. Can you imagine? Like when I'm so happy that I have the Dynavap these days, but I even had a problem with like smoking things, right? I hate it. Absolutely despise the taste that got left in my mouth after hitting a bong or smoking a joint. Like it tasted like absolute ass. But I could tolerate it because I appreciated the effects. And then as soon as I switched to this, and it didn't have to taste like ass anymore, and it could taste like cookies, and it could taste like clementine, and it could taste like strawberries, and it could taste like mango. I was like, holy, this is holy. This is what weed is actually supposed to taste like. So yeah, right, even that, like the bad taste was too much for me. Sticking something inside my body and then, right? I didn't even like doctors doing that shit to me. Never mind me doing it to myself. Yeah, too much. Alcohol is the biggest killer in the world. If you give a pothead a doobie, he'll want some snacks to go with it. Really, Adam. Do you get that out of a 90s Dare pamphlet? It all starts. I used some RSO last night. Couldn't get up for work this morning. Yeah, that stuff can be very strong. It is good to know thyself again with stuff like that. Doobie goes to shroom, shroom goes to LSD, goes to snorting, goes to needles. Okay, is that how it works? Seems I got like a few steps left. But like, what's the timeline? Is it eventually, right? Like, I seem to have gotten stuck. I seem to have gotten stuck for a long time, Adam Adamson, right? What's the time? It's been in 1 decade for me too. Maybe like close. 9 years technically. 9 years going on a decade of me eating mushrooms. Right? I've never had the urge to do anything other than that. Because again, mushrooms grow from the earth. Right? You think that the earth did that? I think the earth did that, in the same way that people are making alcohol. Think about what I'm saying. One, the earth made, right? And it's not neurotoxic. In fact, we know for a fact it isn't. It's the opposite. Earth made that, right? And it just grows, sometimes of its own accord, on forest floors. And then the human being can have an experience with that. Meet God, if you will. And then the other one is alcohol. Bottled, commoditized, advertised, right? With beautiful people having the best time. Oh, I'm so beautiful and drinking. I'm so happy. My eyes are so bright and so pretty. Right? It's marketing. Right? Like one is clearly more evil than the other. And if you look at the timeline, right, it's very clear that the people that control the pharmaceutical companies are in bed with the people that control the alcohol companies, right, the beverage companies. And they, both of those, the pharmaceutical and beverage and food companies, all of them have a vested interest in keeping you as docile, as low-minded, as unaware as possible, right? So it's very clear why there was such a big push against mind-expanding experiences. But that is at the outdated, like as Sam said, like 90s dare level mentality. We're living in the year 2025. Psychedelics are legal in many places these days. Actual scientific studies are being done right now, right? People are going from being suicidal to the point of having tried to commit suicide to having so much ambition to live that they want to live for 1,000 years, right? Like that's the kind of transition that can happen in the spirit of a person when they actually are allowed to know that it's not as dark as they have convinced themselves it is, right? Breaking out of that default mode network just for a little bit. It's not that simple. Adam is entitled to his vintage opinions on marijuana, and we are entitled to keep smoking it and being obnoxious little stoners in chat. That's how it works. That's the rules. I started with weed, went to meth, and eventually heroin and pills, alcohol all the way. But I did it so often, I couldn't function without it. That is addiction. Yeah. And again, Papa Joe, like I have no judgment of you for going and doing all of those substances. I'm hoping, at the very least, you're not doing them anymore, right? But you're not any less of a person. You're not any less worthy. One of the dogs just got stepped on or something. You're not any less worthy of my love or my attention or my kindness because you've done those things, right? And I feel like that's one of the big problems as well with the amount of demonization of these things that we've done is that as soon as you hear or as soon as someone shares that they are, then there is this like whole like public pariah, like don't want to, touch that with a stick type of mentality. So we end up like isolating more people, pushing them again deeper into those worlds, because that's what makes addicts, right? It's not the actual substances, it's a loneliness epidemic, it's pain, it's feeling hopeless, not having any self-confidence. Like all of those things make drug addicts, right? And unfortunately, the amount of misinformation is not helping, right? It's only more isolating because again, as some people are more educated, those that are uneducated, they feel isolated from too. So it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of vibes too. Frequency of use causes structural changes in the brain and body. That is essentially what triggers addiction. The drug of choice depends solely on the user. This is true. Frequency of use. It's like, why are you doing it? What are your attachments, right? Like, I do believe in the whole association thing as well. Like, environments are very powerful in that way too. Melty, I have a huge garage on the property. You can park that junk in my shop and outfit however you see fit. We can even come and build it there, bro. We can build it there at your garage. How about that? That sounds like a plan. Melty, this is happening, dude. I think that you're talking about the whole making places for people to park and stuff. Love to you, bro. I'm looking forward to it. I am 12 years sober. Bless you, Papa Joe. But use edibles and oil for pain, and I'm fine. Don't need to go back to those drugs or alcohol. Alcohol addiction is deeply spiritual. There it goes. Yep. It absolutely is. Right? And all of us are spiritual beings. And when we're not seen as those spirits, right? Our spirits go and seek meaning in other things, right? Go and seek escape, go and seek comfort, go and seek just a moment away, right? From, as you said, the pain that we experience, either mentally or physically. I do have a lot of physical pain, as well. Like I'm in pain right now. I should keep changing the way I sit, for it to help, but it's not easy being a body. Nope, it's not easy. But it's also always worth it. And I do believe that my technology will catch up with me. I'll get cyber back, robo back, robo back. I'll become more powerful, I'm sure. Adam, don't intentionally rile up the hippies, then say you were just yapping or whatever. Love is true. I agree, Mel. You live your way into a new way of thinking. That is recovery. It's literally what I did. I made my bed. I exercised. I did the dishes. I cleaned. I gave myself purpose and a sense of accomplishment. There we go. Isn't that freaking gorgeous? Just to hear a friend that literally battled with some of the most. Methamphetamine is technically the most. Like heroin and stuff like that is very addictive, and he did say that did happen too, right? But that stuff is very addictive because it helps with pain. Methamphetamine is very addictive because it helps with almost like a sense of well-being, right? Personal, imagined well-being. Like I'm doing good, I'm okay, right? So imagine, right, being able to just do something and feel like you're okay. That must be incredibly addictive. And as he said, right, the way that you break that is by making things okay, right? By checking the arbitrary boxes we have for ourselves about what needs to be checked for things to be okay, right? The whole signal to noise ratio. What do I need to do today for me to feel like I have done something? And then day after day, after you do stuff like that, you feel this sense of accomplishment. You can watch yourself making the slightest bit of progress. And if you can become addicted to that, you're set for the races. Things are going to get better for you, only better for you, because you're doing that. You're the one doing the making of better, the getting of the betters. Hey, Pepperminch Mononoke! Pepperminch! No princess. Pepperminch Mononoke is cooler, I think. What a trip. It's been a while. Thank you for the dopamine on my lunch break. Gotta go back now. Bless ya. Thank you for being here with me. Papa Joe, happy to be here with you on the other side. Echoing that with you, Joe. Isn't it awesome? I'm sure you have a world of valuable perspective from where you came from to where you are. Takes a lot of growth. That really helped me change my perspective. Thank you guys. Bless you, friend. Gonna have an edible at 5. Geopot.
Yeah.
What voice is that? Love you. No, 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 no. No RSO today. It was too heavy. Yeah, it's like you're like getting the grease. You're getting like the like thick stuff. You're getting like the thick stuff of RSO. Rick Simpson's oils. I haven't had RSO, but I've heard like so many stories. My uncle, when his wife's dad passed away, they like cleaned out their house, and in his refrigerator, he had RSO oil, right? And he had like a whole what do you call it? Syringe. Yeah, he had a whole syringe when he just got it, but by the time they cleaned out the fridge, there was like a milliliter or something like that left. I shouldn't laugh at this, but like my uncle, I wish my uncle was here to tell the story instead, but I'll paraphrase. Right? So he thought, huh, that doesn't look like too much. So he just took all of it. Right? And like I don't know how much RSO you took. Like the recommended dose is like you're supposed to like take a little grain, like a little rice grain, half a rice grain of RSO oil, and that's enough. Right? You're gonna get the cannabinoids that your body needs to anti-inflammatories and whatever. And my uncle took like a milliliter. So like instead of being like a rice grain, it's like covering your entire freaking fingertip with the stuff. He got so beau blazes that he at one point walked into his room, like fell down, and like had to literally extend his foot out and like just actually touch the earth to make sure that it is still in fact there. To feel like he has some sort of sense of stability. Oh, jeeps. Like he said, like he woke up the next day still feeling like he's like living on an alien planet. You know, like I just wish that he could be here to tell it himself. The experiential, yeah. Like you need to know. You need to know if you need to know, but that's not the best way to find out. Thank you. Bless again. Same here, Papa Joe. Gave me the opportunity to live my life again, and I'll always be grateful. Helped me fight depression. That's what weed helped me for. Fight depression and actually like sleep properly. Helped me be a little bit more kind to myself, a little bit less self-hatey. I could let myself off the hook a little bit more. And again, sometimes you need to not be let off the hook. Sometimes you need to be on the hook, very much so. However, if you're the kind of person that doesn't let yourself off the hook, then it could help. All of us are different. I'll miss the swamp, but I will be overwhelmed with new smiles and places and plants and animals. I'll never forget Florida, and I'll always have fond memories of it. But new spaces and new friends and new soil sounds awesome. New chapter of opportunity to build in places I've never set tent stakes. I'm already buzzing from the potential joy and love that will manifest. That sounds so wholesome. Papa Joe, I missed that comment on your experiences. Thank you for sharing your journey with us and providing the group with your perspective. Always. Sam asking, and this might be the last comment we read. Melt, your uncle has a life-changing amount of RSO. What is he doing now? He has joined a nudist colony. Is he finally engaging in his passions? Is he South African man? Nope. He like is pretty much unchanged. He had that experience and just kind of like had like a wake-up call about the fact that there are things that he doesn't know about this world. Chief amongst them, cannabis and all of the other stuff, right? Like it goes like, oh wow, there's experiences that I literally will have to put my foot down on the ground for to like just feel like I'm okay with how wild the experiences I'm having, right? So yeah, he's a basically like a contractor. He owns a contracting business, doing like buildings and stuff. Like he builds for people, concrete and rebar and you name it. He does it. Bananas. Miss the swamp, overwhelmed with the new smells, indeed. Yeah, I appreciate you, friends, so much. It's time. It's time for me to show you a flower, to say goodbye. Ooh, this is nice. I am biased, of course, but I really like this. Whoever made this knew what they were doing. Stop. I can only blow smoke on my ass for like 15 seconds, and then I'll have to crack. There we go. That's pretty, right? How about that? That little shapey, just like being on its ace. You gotta love that. This one too, I like. Oh, who did that? Who did that? uh, some entities. Love is true. Now it's to read for you. Let's see. Yes, the cold is dawning on me now as the sun is setting. Jeebies. Hey, Giovanna of her heart eyes. Making my heart go bump. Step, trust, repeat. The unknown is a shaky bridge made of whispers and fog and hope, built plank by plank from all your doubts. You stand on this side, toes curled around the edge of comfort, staring into a mist that whispers, "Are you sure?" But listen closely. Behind you, voices rise, gentle but clear, calling through the haze. We see you. You've got this. We're right here. Truth, trust is taking one breath, then one step, believing their eyes see paths your own cannot, believing their hearts know strengths you forgot. Stepping forward is faith, and then in their sincerity, in your worth, in the idea that love would never call you forward just to let you fall. So go ahead, lean into their voices, trust the hands that hold your story softly, trust the hearts that cheer your name. Your courage is their chorus, your leap is their applause. You can't yet see the other side, but know this: every step taken in trust builds solid ground beneath your feet. Oh, I'm crying on the inside. Like, actually, I almost got close to crying on the outside too. Suck them back. I appreciate you, friends, a lot. That line, I'm going to read it again. Stepping forward is faith in their sincerity, in your worth, in the idea that love would never call you forward just to let you fall. So go ahead, lean into their voices, trust the hands that hold your story softly, trust the hearts that cheer your name. I appreciate you, friends, a lot. Every single one of the friends that come into my life and see my art, see the work that I make, appreciate the beauty therein, that uplifts me. If not for you, then I don't know if I'd be stepping forward into the fog day by day. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me, for sharing some time in this moment. I appreciate you always. I love you so much. Thank you for spending this time. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye. Till we do it again.